Whether it's hitting a game winner in your driveway while a college scout drives by, or it's peak Oracle Arena popping when Steph hits a 28-footer, the magic of the NBA doesn't just reside in Orlando. It lives and thrives when the league is at its most unpredictable. And the NBA is definitely in its era of parity, but the coverage and rules of today's game, and I'm not solely talking about,
bro, the league is so cooked, all they do is jack up threes, play no defense, and flop.
The crowd that says and genuinely believes that for sure kisses their second cousin on the lips. So while they're mooching the same DNA, the second apron is kissing title odds goodbye by the day. As of recording this video, we haven't even sniffed the July 1st free agency frenzy, and yet just barely a year removed from Boston winning the title, they've already traded Drew and Porzingis. I promise you, Brad Stevens wasn't itching to ship away an all-defense and 20-point-per-game scorer just a day apart from each other, but that second apron is a nightmare. And I get it, not everyone has the time to learn and understand what either apron means or what the penalties are, and that's completely fine. All you really need to know is what's behind me, and also the fact that trading Drew and Porzingis saved Boston's new owner $200 million, which, sick. The age of Ultron looking ass super teams was hell to live through during that 2010 stretch. I'm probably in the small demographic that hated seeing the same Cavs-Warriors finals matchup for 4 straight years, and the intention of the second apron is to directly combat stretches like that from ever happening again. But B, going forward, a team like OKC is going to have those second apron penalties hit them like a bus, even though they drafted 2 out of their 3 top guys. Which in a weird way, if your front office is actually good and hits on picks, your team's kinda cooked and forced into super tight title windows. Because what some Celtics fans don't understand is, even if Tatum never got injured and they instead get bounced in the conference finals, come June, Brad is still trading Drew and Porzingis. So now that Boston title window is essentially already shut for at least the next 2 years. And however you may feel about Boston Celtics fans, this squad being the guinea pig for this new CBA and its effects has had some bright red flags raised by Celtics fans. This Reddit post specifically doubles down on that and has some extremely valid points brought up. Later on in the video, I'll discuss solutions for problems like this, but as an NBA rat, I'm not worried about Boston shooting 53s a game. I'm concerned what just happened to Boston will be the new norm for title winners for the next decade. And on the topic of the three-point shot, there's not an ounce of a doubt that Steph Curry is the most influential NBA player ever. But the narrative that he ruined the game, I fully understand. Disagreeing with that, combined with the title of this video, might have you more lost than Evan Mobley on this Harden ISO, but the overall playstyle across the league is far from predictable. Case in point, the team that just won the chip. OKC was 8th in three-pointers attempted and 11th in three-pointers made per game throughout the playoffs. Even for the Pacers, they were in the exact same spots, just flip the attempts and makes. And if we're being completely honest, the 3-ball is probably what eliminated the Celtics in that second round. Not to mention seeing comments like,
"Every team plays the same,"
has to be being said by a 7-year-old or an 82-year-old that saw Wilt's 100-point game. Teams like the Pacers, Clippers, and Nuggets each play such a distinctive brand of basketball. To paint this wide, fabricated brush saying otherwise is just lazy. And I don't know who's to blame for that, but the Stephen A's and Shaqs of the NBA commentary world constantly on the play style is exhausting. I do like Inside the NBA, but hearing Shaq crash out anytime they show a clip of Cat or Embiid shooting a three cannot be good for overall NBA discourse. And it's gotta be coming from the most unheard level of insecurity, because the game today has produced some of the most skilled talent the league has ever seen. Guys like Jokic, Wemby, Luka, maybe pass like Magic one quarter, but then they're hitting one leg 25-footers like Dirk the next. And it doesn't even have to be the face of the league type players to fit that mold. You can feel however you want to feel about a Hornets-Pacers mid-November regular season game, but no matter how much you let your imagination wander, Tyrese and LaMelo will still do you have never seen before. But with all of that said, because of the apron penalties, because of a heavy influence of analytics, the front office side of the NBA has definitely become predictable. And while no one specifically is to blame for all of that, there is someone that is constantly crashing the party. When you start to picture the NBA's trade deadline and July 1st free agency like opening presents on Christmas Day, you'll quickly realize how much of a Grinch Shams has become. And it's not his fault whatsoever. And honestly, it's an issue that scales way beyond the NBA. But now, come trade deadline and July 1st, it feels like I'm about to open a present, but Shams is that little cousin on the ground yelling out what's inside and spoiling the surprise. And I've been very vocal about the Luka trade in previous videos, especially in regards to the deal itself, but what I will forever appreciate about that trade is the fact no one saw it coming. Compare that entire situation to everything surrounding Giannis the last few months, you'll quickly realize the impact Shams has on the NBA. I know I'm name dropping Shams a lot here, but again, it's not just his fault. But I swear to God, if anyone in Bristol, Connecticut, or anybody that consumes NBA content acts shocked when Giannis inevitably demands a trade, but like the title of the chapter suggests, I can't get mad at Shams or Chris Haynes for doing their literal job, but it's just more so disappointing that every new signing or trade that goes down feels like I saw it coming from a mile away. Also, this goes beyond the NBA, but holy can we please stop interviewing head coaches during and after the game? Outside of a Michael Malone or JB Bickerstaff post-game crash out, every interview is the same 5 answers, especially during the game. Like if Steph went 0 of 5 from 3 1/4 and they bring Steve over to the baseline, does ESPN really think Steve's gonna be like,
yeah, Lisa, Steph's been some hot ass today. Don't see any way he gets back on the floor tonight.
Of course, ESPN isn't expecting anything like that. And I understand interviewing the head coach is meant to create this bridge between the viewer and the team in a sense, but it's just the most mind-numbing broken record at this point. And I know it's a different league, but the second a network does do something out of the ordinary, like Tony Romo and CBS in 2017, 9 times out of 10, the network eventually panics and reverts back to the same stale old-ass bread they've been serving for decades. With that being said, though, between second apron penalties and the influence Shams and analytics has on today's game, how can we make the NBA unpredictable? Not to sound like a Cam Newton IG caption, but if there's one thing in life you cannot buy, it's going back in time. And to be honest, that would be the only way to escape this sources tell me era. We're too far deep into the TMZ like rumor mill that has now plagued the NFL and NBA especially. As for the crowd that thinks analytics and the reliance on the three-point shot is destroying the league, that's on you. With the rise of AI, teams bulking up their coaching staff with a focus on analytics, and 3-on-2 fast breaks looking like this in today's game, hate to break it to you, but we're just at the tip. What can be fixed, though, is that brutal second apron. Again, we are living in the most parity the NBA has ever seen, and in part, That is thanks to multiple CBAs the league agreed upon over the last decade. However, the way the second apron is constructed as of now absolutely punishes teams who draft well. And what's crazy is I don't even have to give you a long-winded, complex solution. Just don't have the all-star, all-NBA guys that you drafted count towards the apron. That's all you have to change. The apron penalties will still spook the Ballmers of the world. While not blasting Presti's Achilles every 3 years because he knows how to draft well. But I want to hear from you. Do you feel like the NBA has become predictable? Also, per usual, gotta shout out this comment from last month's video. Thank you. I appreciate you. Don't worry though, pretty sure it's going to be either OKC or Denver that comes out of the West next year. Outside of that, that's going to do it for today's video. If you're not subscribed, dude, I literally have a degree in casual takes. You're gonna want to subscribe and hit that like button. But that's officially it from me today. I will see y'all in the next one.